We like to think that in the 21st century, science has a neat answer for just about everything. We've mapped the human genome, we've got rovers on Mars, and we've stared into the very beginning of the universe. But what if I told you that right here on Earth, there are phenomena that still have scientists scratching their heads? These aren't just minor puzzles. They're fascinating mysteries that push the limits of our understanding. Today, we're looking at 5 natural phenomena that don't have a complete, final explanation. Science has some compelling ideas, but the full story is still out of reach. So, get ready to see some of the planet's most baffling wonders. Coming in at number 5, we're going to one of the most remote places on Earth, the Siberian taiga. In 1949, a geologist named Vadim Kolpakov was trekking through the wilderness and stumbled upon something that just shouldn't be there. It's a giant cone of shattered limestone rising 130 feet out of the forest floor, looking like a huge blister on the face of the planet. The local Yakut people knew about it for centuries, calling it the Fire Eagle Nest and giving it a wide berth. They told stories of animals avoiding the area and people feeling unwell if they got too close. Kolpakov's first thought was that it was a spoil heap from some secret Cold War mining operation, but there were no signs of any mining at all. So what is it? Your first guess is probably a meteorite impact. The problem is, craters are holes in the ground. This is a massive mound rising out of it. Plus, expeditions have found 0 meteorite fragments. Okay, what about a volcano? Siberia has them, but again the evidence doesn't fit. The crater is made of limestone, not volcanic rock, and there's no sign of the intense heat you'd expect from an eruption. Even weirder, tree ring analysis suggests the crater is only about 300 to 500 years old. The leading scientific theory today is that it was formed by a phreatic explosion, basically, a massive burst of steam or gas from deep within the Earth. This is the most plausible explanation we have, but it's still a hypothesis. It doesn't fully account for all the site's weirdness, like the stories of sickness or the geologist who died from a heart attack there in 2005, which only fueled the local legends. For now, this million-ton anomaly remains one of Siberia's great unsolved puzzles. Next up, we're heading to a quiet forest in West Pomerania, Poland, to see something straight out of a fairy tale. It's called the Crooked Forest, and it's a grove of about 400 pine trees that all grow in a very peculiar way. Planted around 1,930, each tree grows straight for about a foot, then takes a sharp 90-degree turn, creating a smooth, northward-pointing curve before straightening up and reaching for the sky. The result is a whole forest of J-shaped trees that look like they're bowing in unison. What's so strange is that they're surrounded by a much larger forest of perfectly normal pine trees. This wasn't just random storm damage, it's a specific repeating pattern in one isolated group. So what happened here? Well, science isn't totally stumped, but the final proof is missing. The most widely accepted theory is that humans did this on purpose. The idea is that local foresters bent the saplings, possibly to grow naturally curved wood for things like furniture or building boat hulls. It's a solid theory, but since the nearby town was heavily damaged during World War II, anyone who knew the technique is likely long gone, and no documentation has ever been found. Other ideas have been thrown around. Could a heavy snowstorm have bent them all at once? Maybe. But that doesn't explain why the surrounding trees are fine or why the curves are so clean and uniform. Some have even floated the idea of a strange gravitational pull, but that doesn't really hold up to scrutiny. While it's likely man-made, The Crooked Forest remains a beautiful and baffling mystery whose secret was lost to history. From the forests of Poland, let's journey to the arid grasslands of Namibia in southern Africa. From the air, the landscape is dotted with millions of perfectly round, barren patches of earth, creating a polka dot pattern that stretches for miles. These are the fairy circles. These circles are weirdly uniform, ranging from about 7 to 39 feet across. Each one is a patch of sand bordered by a ring of tough grass, and they keep a strange, almost polite distance from each other. For centuries, the local Himba people have said they are the footprints of their god or the work of spirits. For scientists, they're one of the most fascinating debates in ecology. For a long time, two main theories have been battling it out. The first theory blames an underground pest, sand termites. The idea is that termite colonies eat the grass roots in a circle, creating the barren patch. This lets precious water soak into the sand, which sustains the termites and the ring of grass around them. But the second theory suggests the plants themselves are the architect. In a place where water is incredibly scarce, grasses compete for every last drop. The stronger grasses on the outer ring essentially suck all the moisture from the center, creating a patch where nothing else can grow. This barren circle then acts like a reservoir, channeling water to the outer ring. For years, scientists went back and forth, but the debate has evolved. Recent research suggests it might not be one or the other, but a combination of both. It seems the plant competition creates the pattern, and then the termites move in to reinforce it. So while we're getting closer, the perfect geometry and epic scale of the fairy circles still feel like magic etched into the desert floor. We're exploring some of Earth's biggest puzzles, and we're just getting warmed up. If you're finding this as fascinating as we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming up next. For our number 2 spot, we're off to the remote Hessdalen Valley in Norway. By day, it's a quiet, scenic landscape. By night, it can turn into a stage for one of the most persistent and well-documented light shows in the world, the Hessdalen Lights. Sightings go back to the 1,930 seconds, but they went wild in the early 1,980 seconds, appearing up to 20 times a week. And these aren't just little flickers. Witnesses describe brilliant orbs of light, white, yellow, or red, sometimes as big as a car. They hover silently for over an hour, drift back and forth, or suddenly shoot off at incredible speeds. They've been seen day and night, in all weather, and they've been captured on camera and radar. This isn't just a case of mistaking a plane or car headlights. Since 1983, Project Hessdalen has been scientifically studying the lights, and an automated station is still there today. Researchers have confirmed they are a real, physical phenomenon. The data shows they're often composed of plasma, but that discovery only deepened the mystery. What's creating it? One leading hypothesis is that the valley is a giant natural battery. The mountains on one side are rich in copper, and on the other, they're rich in iron and zinc. The river in between could act as an electrolyte, creating an electrical field that ionizes the air and produces these glowing plasma orbs. It's a cool idea, but it doesn't quite explain the light's complex behavior, why they seem to move with purpose or change shape. Other theories point to energy released from quartz crystals in the rock, or even radioactive radon gas. But so far, no single theory can neatly explain everything that's been observed. the Hessdalen lights remain a genuine, scientifically verified mystery that continues to dance in the Norwegian sky. At number 1, we have something that isn't a strange object or a fleeting light, but a relentless, almost permanent force of nature. Welcome to the mouth of the Catatumbo River in Venezuela, home of the Catatumbo lightning, or the everlasting storm. This phenomenon holds the Guinness World Record for the highest concentration of lightning on Earth. It happens up to 260 nights a year, for 10 hours at a time, producing an average of 28 lightning strikes per minute. That adds up to over 1 million bolts annually, lighting up the sky so brightly it's visible for hundreds of miles. For centuries, sailors called it the Maracaibo Beacon and used its silent, constant flashes to navigate. So, what's the scientific explanation? Well, we have the basic recipe. The region is a perfect storm trap. Warm, moist air from the Caribbean gets funneled into a basin surrounded by the Andes Mountains. This warm air collides with cool air rolling down the slopes, creating massive, unstable thunderclouds that are constantly fed moisture from the lake below. But here's the puzzle. While scientists get the ingredients, they can't fully explain the storm's incredible intensity and consistency. Why here and nowhere else on Earth? What's the special sauce that turns a regular thunderstorm into a near-perpetual lightning machine? Some have wondered if methane from the region's oil deposits or even uranium in the bedrock could be supercharging the storm. But those ideas are still unproven. Then in 2010, the impossible happened. The storm just stopped. For 6 weeks the sky went dark and no one knew why. Then, just as mysteriously as it vanished, it roared back to life. The Catatumbo lightning is a powerful reminder that even when we understand the rules, nature sometimes plays a game we haven't quite figured out yet. From a strange mound in Siberia to the lightning-filled skies of Venezuela, our planet is full of wonders that challenge us to keep asking questions. These phenomena aren't proof that science is wrong. They're proof that it's a work in progress. They remind us that there are still profound mysteries hidden in plain sight, and that nature, after all this time, can still be the ultimate enigma. Which of these mysteries do you find the most fascinating? Do you have a wild theory of your own? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip into the unknown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more explorations of our amazing world. Thanks for watching.